Big Hairy Tae by Mr McFadyen. There was once an old wife gaed out to dig ties.
And she dug up a big hairy tae.
So she brought home the Big Hairy Tae, and that night in her bed, she heard the wind groaning.
Far, far away, she thought she heard it moaning.
Where's got my big hairy tae, eh? Where's got my big hairy tae?
She cooted down under the covers, and the wind gied the house. Sick of woman.
You'd swear there was something trying to get in.
The voice was now right at the door, moaning.
Where's got my big hairy tae, eh? Where's got my big hairy tae?
She carried down some mare, ripped down, and paid the covers ticked out over her head.
The wind was growling round the house,
Rattling at the windows and rumbling in the loom,
Like some muckle hairy beast.
and the door cricket and cricket, till all at once it flew wide to the wall,
And summoned slipper in.
it creeped all the fire like Nathan Smile. She could feel it starting over her head.
Where's got my big hairy tae, eh? Where's got my big hairy tae?
She could hear its frixen mouth mumble.
Sin, all at once it bawled.
You got it! I'm Emily French.
And we have Mr McFadyen here, the writer of the Big Hairy Tae and MX. So what is the origin of the poem?
The origin of the poem? I think it's American. There are lots of children's storybooks, as Mr. Peebles could tell you, about a big hairy toe, possibly from the state of Mississippi. And I found it in a book called Junior Voices. Poems and things for children, and it was in. But I could remember from my own childhood that there is a story which she used to tell about a giant coming down the chimney. There was this huge foot appears at the bottom of the chimney, and at the end of the foot there was a huge leg, and at the end of the leg, and then there was a giant, and that just rang me bell in my head. And I thought, well, it would be nice to have this. Maybe it went to America, maybe it belonged to Scotland or England or Ireland or somewhere in the first place. Maybe, as lots of American folk stories do.
So what inspired you to rewrite it when you saw it in the book?
The idea that clearly this would be fun.
What does writing in Scots add to the poem?
It adds something that you must have done it because you must have taken the decision, however much you were persuaded to by Mr. Thornton, that it would be fun to do a reading of this and to actually hear this. And very often kids in Scottish schools to respond to and like to get things in Scots. Strangely enough, because they're not used to it.
What has the reaction been to the poem?
It's very nice, for example, to find Mr. Thornton coming and saying, I found this poem that you put on the shared area, on the school's internet thing for us to use. And my first year of doing it, and will you come in and answer some questions? We're actually putting it on film. And it's brilliant. That is a good reaction. It's not long ago since I put it there. And I don't think there's a lot of other reaction, because if you were to see the English version, the version of it in English, which I found originally, you would actually discover that it's not hugely different. So I have never claimed to have written it. I have claimed to have translated it, if you like. You know what I mean? So I've never put it in any sort of collections and claimed to have written it. But I did used to perform it. See, there is a wee story behind it. See, I reckon that the idea of it is that it's one of these bedtime stories that you tell children in order to give them nightmares, clearly. Because what else do you tell children such bloodthirsty bedtime stories? And then what you do is you tell them the story just bit by bit, and you've got them all curled up in the wee bedposts, and you're going, and the thing came over the floor. And what you do is you sneak your hand under the bedposts, and when you get to the bit where it goes, you've got it, you grab their toe.
Is there any questions from the audience? What kind of giant or monster is in the story about its hairy tail?
I always imagined that it was a human giant because it says a toe, which is a human thing, and it talks. It says, "He's got a big hairy tae," And if it was anything else, it wouldn't be talking. But it just occurs to me, we were saying it's possibly an American story. If it has an American origin, it could be Bigfoot. They've got hairy toes.
Me and the class would like to say thank you for your time today.
Thank you.